Hello there, ladies and gentlemen. Bonkekook here, aka the Lonely Achievement God, and we are continuing our Luigi's Mansion playthrough. I believe we are in part 5 now. Already, what do we got here? Already about 2.5 hours in or so? Closer to 3 after this playthrough is done. We have about 33 minutes of footage to get through today. We run into, a few new enemies and unlock another level. I mean, by this point, you know what the game is. Run around, get ghosts, get elevator buttons, unlock new levels. So we're just going to jump right in here, start the recording, and we will be with you for the next 33 minutes or so. No real problems in this one. I had a small controller issue, but I'm not entirely sure if it's the controller or it's from the angle of the camera for how the game sets up things. I've had it happen quite a few times, and the controller issue I had last part made me wonder if it isn't the controller giving me problems and not the game itself, but I'm not entirely sure either way. So we jump back in. As you remember, we hopped off the elevator on floor number 2, which is just the elevator above the lobby there. And when we turn the corner, the dog's like, "Hey, remember this sign you couldn't get past before? I think you have something that can help you do that now." So of course, I don't remember what that was, and I try to do the blast, and then I remember about my suction cut gun. And we destroy that and head down a new hallway that we couldn't get to before, as that door is blocked off. And our dog found some lovely cheese. And I'm still very confused about how they can carry objects through walls. Ghosts, I understand. Ghosts can just go through walls, but if they're picking up a solid object, how are they getting through the wall? Beats me. So of course, we're gonna do our usual run around, explore everywhere. Probably before entering rooms before the game actually wants us to. That's how we roll. Ooh. Billiards table. So good, look at that. I actually got them all grouped up. I was like, this is weird, why won't they go in? I think I just got a little unlucky. Grouped them all in the corner. You're not supposed to sink the cue ball. Haha, we got a challenge. I still don't know where those challenges are. If I can view them, or if I've missed the prompt for them. I actually take a few minutes at the end of the game trying to figure out if there's like a menu where I can view the challenges or what. I really wish Nintendo did a better job at those kind of achievements and challenges. Even if you're not going to do the same system as Microsoft and Sony, just let me see them easily. There's probably some menu option somewhere I missed, but maybe I'll do some research before the next part and see if I can't figure that out. But once again, explore everything. Got a couple of cabinets. I figure I can try to open them, but I'm not allowed. So we move on over here. I do not know what the pig butt is for. Messed around with it here, and nothing seemed to happen. And I couldn't get it to stop with the head facing forward, and maybe that's what you have to do. I don't know. We'll figure it out later. Like I said, hoping to do a playthrough with an epilogue where we go through and find all the extra gems and complete challenges and stuff like that, so we can consider the game 100% completed before we move on to the next. And as I mentioned, I have a copy of Pokemon Snap that I plan to use for a playthrough after this. So we found a ton of money hidden behind these statues, these cabinets. But for good measure, we destroy the third one, because we're nothing if not thorough. And so it's a dartboard. I was like, well, maybe I can aim my plunger at it. Doesn't seem like it, so is there anything that I can pick up and throw at it? And then I remembered the sword statue Or not statue, display. I know there's a term for it, but I can't remember it off the top of my head. So, figure it out. I was actually surprised the sword came loose. I thought I wouldn't be able to, but... And as you can see, the icon immediately snapped to the center of the dartboard, because it was the right thing to do, and we got a gem out of it. Because again, we are nothing if not thorough. We will explore every room and every nook and cranny that we possibly can before we are forced to go where the game wants us to. So the dog is sitting there like, dude, come over here. There's so much cool stuff over here. It's amazing. I'm like, that's nice. I have to explore all of these rooms. So we head down the hallway over here. There's a couple of unexplored rooms. First one is already marked as unavailable, and that bugs me. It's helpful, but it bugs me. Like, I want to just go to the door and open it and then find out it's blocked. Then the map can display that. But displaying it before I even discover it myself is borderline for me. I'm not a big fan of that. I like to feel like I'm the one making the map, even if it's, you know, stupid to consider it that way, you know. Obviously, if I'm the one making the map, it's going to take a while to stop and update the map if we were doing it realistically. But I like the idea of I open the door and it's blocked, and then my map says, hey, that door is blocked. Until I unblock it, or whatever the case may be. Maybe it's a permanently broken door, but kind of wish the game let me figure that stuff out on its own, on my own. But I suppose I'm not exactly the target age group for this game anymore. I'm right on the top end of that 18 to 34 age group now. Getting old. So we got a bathroom in here. I'm pretty sure I could just press X to open most of the stalls, but after last episode, we discovered that we can use the plunger shot to destroy the stall doors, and that's always more fun. So we racked up some toilet paper. We look inside the toilet, and dry money flies out. Go figure. Couple of coins and some bubbles. Actually shot the plunger under the door somehow there. Oh no, he was just reading his newspaper, but didn't notice the door being blasted off its hinges. I do not want to know what he was going through. If he was so intent on what he was doing that he didn't notice the door being blasted off. That poor guy. And then we ran in and murdered him. Just having a really rough day as a ghost. So of course we turn on all of the faucets, because most of them pop coins out at us. Not all of them. And then we need to dry our hands. And then pick up some dirty money. Seems counterproductive, but we do wear gloves. So we're basically, I think, done with this room now. We got a little grate over here, and of course we've started to get familiar with the game mechanics enough that we figured out that puzzle really quickly. Pat yourself on the back, Bonkekook. So, and there's food all over the place. Everywhere. And it's kind of funny because we do come back to this room later, and it would make more sense if we had not come into this room and cleaned it out first. But we ruined the game's plans by exploring. And I am not going to apologize for that. Again, you made the world, you let me explore it. What did you think I was gonna do? Someone should really clean those pipes. That's what I'm here for. I just suck out all the dust. I'm not actually sure if I'm sucking out the dust or not, but it makes me feel like I am, and I appreciate that. I don't know when this video is going to be put up, but in all likelihood, it's going to be on Memorial Day, probably. So, I am hoping that all of you had a safe and fun Memorial Day weekend. As I've mentioned, we had a garage sale to make some monies. And that went really well, and then even better is after the sale was over, we just put some furniture on by the side of the road because we didn't want to deal with dragging it to the dump, and people came and grabbed it for free. So, getting rid of a lot of stuff that would make it even more miserable to move. So, we do appreciate, if any of you that were at the garage sale are listening, we do appreciate your business. My back will very much appreciate it when we go to move everything. So we go down the hallway here, and there's a fan on the right side. I see the lights light up. Gamer instincts activate. But it wouldn't let me blow the fan until I got rid of the sign. So I took it out to dinner first. I'm sorry, that was a dirty joke. I apologize. Try to create wholesome content here. Lonely Achievement God. It's a very wholesome god. Catering room? Or break room? Fun fact, my fiance and I went to a, basically a home goods store. You know, the equivalent of Home Depot or Lowe's, but a regional variant. And we were wandering around a shopping area and turned a corner, and we wound up in their break room somehow. Just wandered right in. There were no signs indicating we shouldn't walk that way, so naturally being curious, there was just a walkway across near a railing, and on the other side where we had come up was stuff to shop, so we assumed there might be more, and it was the break room. There was just some vending machines and some tables, and there was no sign indicating that it was off limits to customers. I feel bad. Poor guy was just trying to enjoy his break, and customers are wandering in. That would be awful. Like, when we get attacked by a bunch of ghosts, and I actually, I take the most damage you've seen me take so far in this run. Okay, excuse me. It's getting late in the day. We were up early for the garage sale, so I'm getting tired, but I'm trying to get a lot of these parts recorded because feel like I've been slacking on these, and as I said, I'm renting it, so I kind of want to get it done as quickly as I can. Hopefully I won't yawn too many times more. That's not a great indication that the content I'm bringing you is exciting if the person who made it is yawning, but hey, maybe it's much more exciting for you guys. So we, of course, have to suck up all the tablecloths. We get our health built up there. Run back and forth. I'm actually kind of terrified about how steamy that bread is. Got some cheese there. And I was trying to fire it at the wall and it wouldn't let me. I was disappointed. I wanted to explode the cheese, but... Always check the mouse holes. They tend to hide money in those things. Did you know that? Don't check your mouse holes at home for money. That's very dangerous. Kids, if you are watching this, never do that. Never stick your hands into a mouse hole. We're gonna go back this way because we actually got that cutscene before I was ready. I wasn't done exploring over here, and I start grabbing all the stuff on the top shelf because you know me, I explore everything. Try to pull all the items off. We get our bag full of money. It explodes, and then we I think we got a couple more outfits to tidy up. There we go. And the sign is perfectly placed so that it's difficult to see what is behind it. But in a second here, okay, maybe a couple seconds, I gotta take all the tree leaves off. That's just a staple of our time playing this. So we get the couch cushions, and then we explode the sign, and we realize there is a thing behind the sign on the wall. There we go. Now that the flashlight's on it, you can see it better. So we're like, oh, sweet. Where does that take us? Oh, to the place I already wiped everything out because I'm a little crazy like that. So there are going to be times where I do things the hard way because of my exploration habits, and I regret nothing. So we head over here. Apologize, it looks like it froze there a little bit. We got a kitchen that looks like mine when I used to try to make pizza at my old place. For whatever reason, pizza would always cause smoke in my old oven. I'm much better at it now. I don't know, my fiance's oven is just better at it or what, but I could not. And then my fiance would make fun of me, and then she'd try to make a pizza, and it too would create smoke in the house, so I didn't feel as bad anymore. She's a much better cook than I am. But, I am learning. Trying to be better. So while we've been sucking things up, I haven't really been paying attention to the boss, and then Professor hops in and he's like, yeah, you're bringing someone else to help you. And I'm like, I'm still exploring here, dude. Like, but since you told me, I guess I can... Our slimmer Dr. Robotnik, the chef here. Sonic! Anyways, I do take a lot of damage in this fight. I wasn't entirely sure what to do. I thought because the game had told me to get Luigi out that I was going to use Luigi as kind of a decoy, and then that spinning attack winds up doing a lot of damage to me. The goal is to shoot the pan out of his hands, and then you can, do the usual grab him and slam him over and over again. The problem is, I had trouble timing that. So I would run around and get ready thinking I could shoot him before he did the spinny thing, and I can't. But then I would think that it would run out, and he tends to do that, like, infinitely. It's, I'm not entirely sure how to stop it, so I kept taking damage. I almost died in this fight. Because I'm someone who tries to be ready for when he's going to pop in. I like to get things done quickly, although you can't tell by watching my playstyle. But see, I was like, okay, I have enough distance. I can survive until his spin ends. And nope, game was like, no, you can't. It goes on for a really long time. I'm like, okay, this isn't so bad. I got one more run until he's dead, and then we got lucky and a heart spawned. So then I got smart. And I was like, well, I'm just gonna wait for him to spawn instead of being ready, and we'll try to outrun the spinny thing. And I tried to stun him using the flashlight while he was spinning, and that didn't work. So I'm guessing the only way to avoid it is to just run around until he tires. And again, another capture scene that doesn't really have any personality to it. I mean, some fish come out, and that's meh, okay. Like, why couldn't he have been, like, peeling a potato? You know, chef things. Some cliched chef joke as he's being sucked into the vacuum. I would have appreciated that. I mean, I'm sure not everyone would, and that maybe that's why Nintendo didn't do it. But I would appreciate more job-specific jokes as they're being sucked into the vacuum cleaner. So of course we have our typical post-boss exploration because we didn't get to run around this room for very long. And this is, you might think this is a short episode. You already beat the super enemy and are about to get the button. You are wrong. How dare you? We find a live fish in the freezer. Go figure. Like, ooh, a bulb. Let's pull on it. And then there's a fish in there that is literally moving. And then he freezes solid, I guess. It's like, well, I can't get in there, but maybe my goo buddy can. So Luigi climbs into the fish's mouth that was alive 10 seconds ago. And then he comes back out, and this is kind of tight quarters. I don't appreciate this room very much, because it's hard to see if there's anything to the left or to the right for you to grab. And there's actually something on the shelf that you can't destroy, so it makes it even harder to try to suck whatever is on the shelves off. So I just give up and run over towards the button on the sink there once we make our round here. Ta-da! We did it! Oh, just kidding. And now you know why the video ends in 10 minutes instead of relatively quickly, because now we have to chase the mouse down. And of course I checked the sink to make sure no coins came out. You can't come cuddle with me. I'm doing a video. You're silly. The cat hears me talking and wants to come get attention every time. So we saw the mouse run underneath there, and you can actually see the mouse. So I was like, well, he must want the cheese. Let's just drop it. I don't know how far away I have to go. Maybe I have to stand still for a little bit. Like, am I sure that's him inside the mouse hole? Like, so I wander off, and eventually, he does come out, and we blast him. Done. Simple, right? 9 minutes of egad talking, clearly. And then Luigi holds it up, and another mouse runs in and grabs it. Luigi, this is why you're second to Mario. And we must run again, finding another mouse, but I didn't know where he went, and so I was like, well, is he running around this room? More than likely he's out in this room, but game isn't really clear about that. I suppose I could have used the dark light, or whatever they called it, to trace its path. I kind of wish they had done that a few more times, the dark light thing, instead of just the maid boss. I kind of wish they had had you follow the maid boss a few times using that, instead of the once, just to drive it home a little further. Because most of the other mechanics you've had to do regularly, but the dark light one, you've only had a couple of chances at it, and it hasn't stuck with me yet that it's a viable option every time I'm running into a room. We get some pool balls thrown at us because these ghosts weren't here when we were here before. We got the little thin ghosties, golden ghosties, bronze ghosties, not sure. But they're just like all the other ghosties. You grab them, you smash them into the ground, you steal their lunch money. I have a soft spot for playing billiards. Not very good at it. Used to be one at the bowling alley all the time, so when I had like youth bowling and was waiting to be picked up afterwards or whatever, they would let us play games of pool against each other. I've always been relatively good at eyeballing angle, so I was okay at pool, but there we go. We finally got him. Nothing to write home about. And now my eyes are so bad that I'm terrible at everything. That's why I have a 65-inch TV, because anything smaller and I have trouble watching and seeing what's going on the screen. So, we killed those two ghosts. We're gonna go kill that mouse. We're gonna get that button. He ran into this corner here, so one of these has to have him, and we find him, and Luigi lets him run away. Like, Luigi, you knew what you were looking for. You knew he had to be over there, and you still let the mouse run away after you found him. Just a object lesson in why Luigi is the backup to Mario. So we run back down the hall, and you see the mouse run into that room. Now, as I said earlier, if we had gone, or hadn't gone into this room yet, then this would make more sense. But you run in here looking for the mouse, and it's cleaned up because we were already in here. So we assume that there's a mouse in one of these stalls, so let's just go through and find him. And this is gross. But if you hadn't gone in here already, there would be piles of food everywhere. So I didn't really bother with the other mice, I just focused on the one with the key, and it turns out all of the rest of them run away. There we go, we got our button, we are safe and sound, and we can return to the elevator. Another chapter of our journey complete. I pause here to change inputs, so that I apologize for that. But again, I only have the one TV set up right now, so I have to swap inputs back and forth because trying to record through the or trying to play the game through the preview screen has a delay, and it makes the games much more difficult. Although Luigi's Mansion isn't that difficult to begin with, but I don't want to take any chances. Got another floor, floor number 4 we can now visit. However, Luigi, you're doing a great job. Why don't you come back? I miss you. Oh, Luigi, see you soon. Professor's gonna have different voices as we go through. But we have our basement 1 button pressed, and we are going to return to the professor. He has something to tell us. We are 3 hours in. to the game, and we're still learning new things. Man, how wonderful is life. Anyways, we head into the lab, and oh, Luigi, you're finally back. You shouldn't keep me waiting. I've been busy. The lab is almost fully operational. By the way, you must be getting pretty good at exploring, right? Have you been sucking stuff with the poltergust? Your pockets must be fit to bursting with all the money you've picked up. Fret not, I have the perfect solution to your cumbersome currency conundrum. Just give it to me. Drumroll, please. I'm proud to announce. To give me all your money initiative. What a brilliant idea. Give me your money. Professionally Gad Shopping Network is now open. Got some useful items, maybe. They're all yours for money. To celebrate the opening, just this once I'm giving away a gold bone. Go on, Luigi, just select the gold bone to claim it. Sounds like a pretty useful idea, so we buy one and then we go back into the shop and buy 2 more. The other ones, I'm not saying they aren't useful, but they seem to be for finding collectibles, and more than likely we'll just be checking out some guides for that, so we don't waste too much time. I've got other items, so feel free to browse. Oh, I almost forgot. I have one other matter to address while you're here. Luigi, could you turn around for a moment? I need to adjust your poltergust. Wow. That seems sketchy. And done. I just added a new feature to the poltergust. My research indicates that boos are hiding out here. I just added a feature to help you track them down. You mean the King Boo? The Boo, the thing that attacked you? You think it's here? When I told you it was here? Don't worry, I'll fill you in later. He's such a smart professor. That's it for me. Get back out there and give me more money. There we are, ladies and gentlemen. We got about another minute because, as I said, I try to figure out where the challenges are, and I do go back into the store to purchase 2 more of the gold bones because they are basically revive you when you die items, which you can never have too many of those safeguarding you. But we have 10k in money, and the bones are only 1,000 each, so we'll still have plenty left over if there is anything else later on in the game that requires a ton of currency. Not entirely sure, but I hate that feeling of not knowing for sure. So I'll just hold on to all of my money and sit on my piles of gold. So that's going to do it for us. Again, ladies and gentlemen, in part 5 of our Luigi's Mansion 3 playthrough. If you have any questions or comments, please feel free to let me know down below. If you don't, I appreciate all of the normal content creator stuff like subscriptions, sharing the content, and checking out my website at legwalkthroughs.com. If not, though, if you have no questions for me, then I will see you guys next time.